if you are a seller, take your property off the market. There are so many sellers that have their properties on the market right now, and the amount of buyers that we have in the Brampton real estate market are literally almost none. The amount of buyers that we had in the month of June were less than 500, and the amount of sellers that came on the market in the month of June were over 1,200. So, like I said, if you are a seller, I would take my property off the market now and wait to see if things get better. I'm about to jump into the whole Brampton real estate market for the month of June, so you want to stick around. By the way, my name is Zamira Dunnet, and I'm a local real estate agent right here in the GTA, and I'm with eXp Realty. And if you have any questions about the Brampton real estate market, I feel like I'm your expert. I know this market like the back of my hand because I look at these stats and look at this information on a daily basis. I live in the city. I work in the city. I know this city. So please reach out to me at any time. My contact information is right there in the description. I want to try to help you through this crazy process when it comes to buying and selling right here in Brampton. Now let's jump into the stats. All right, let's take a look at these stats. So the average home price right here in Brampton, Ontario for the month of June was $1,009,802. That was only a 0.72% increase from the month of May. So we've barely changed when it comes to the average home price right here in Brampton. Since last year, that has actually decreased by 9.35%. Like I mentioned before at the beginning, we had 489 sold listings in the month of June. We had 1,447 new listings. So that is almost triple the amount of sales that have appeared on the market in the month of June. And we were actually left with 1,725 active listings at the end of the month, which means all of those listings are now available in July, and we're going to get more listings coming to the market in July. And July and August are one of the slowest months that we have because kids are out of school, parents try to go on vacation, take their kids out somewhere, they do something. So they don't want to buy or sell during these months when they're not even here during this time. So we're going to see not a lot of sales happening in this month. And we've already started the month with 1,725 active listings, which is insane. Sales are down by 19.4% from last year, and active listings are up by 46.8%. Like I said, there are so many sellers trying to jump into the market right now to have their properties try to be moved. I think a lot of people are at a point where they're struggling when it comes to the interest rate and their payments. So they held on for as long as they could. And now they're getting to a point where they need to let go of these properties. I hope those are the only people that have their properties on the market because, like I said, if you are just somebody that wants to sell and try to move right now, one, you should sell first before you buy because right now we are 100% in a buyer's market. And you are literally at a point where it is very difficult to sell because you have triple the amount of active listings compared to the amount that is selling. So if you put your property up on the market, you're probably just going to look like another property on the market, giving buyers more options. Well, there's not even enough buyers out there to get even close to getting most of those properties sold. So when it comes to properties selling over asking price, I'm leaving that to the end because that is something that's exciting that I leave to the end for you. It is super important to know if those 489 properties are still selling over asking price or if they're selling at average price. We'll get into that in just a second. So like I said, if you look throughout, in January, we were at 395 properties selling, 445, 510, 517. In April, 517 was the highest number of sales we've had so far this month. And we are back down to 489, which is only 5 properties more than last month. Okay, so active listings at the end of the month, 1,725. Out of the 489 properties that sold, we had 290 of those properties sell in less than 15 days on the market, and 199 properties sell over 15 days on the market. Now that tells me, number one, they priced that property correctly. They either priced it lower to try to get multiple offers, and maybe they did. They either priced it at the price that they wanted that actually made sense and looked at market value for it to be able to sell properly, or they ended up taking the property off the market, relisting it at a proper price, which then ended up selling. Because the number of properties actually that had to remove their properties on the market were 813 properties in the month of June. Imagine how much that is compared to the new listings that came on the market and what is left at the end of the month. I bet you most of those people had to relist their property on the market, and they are part of that active listing number, which is 1,725. And we had 140 properties end up having to just do a price change on their property. So like I said, a lot of properties are sitting. There is a lot of sellers out there, and there is not a lot of buyers. Just looking at the chart across, we have the most amount of active listings that we have had over the past 2 years. I think the closest that we had was back in September of 2023, which was 1,488 active listings. It's literally 1,725. When you look at the new listings that came on the market, like we know, our highest was in March and April of 2022. I'm only going from 2022 of March. But even back in June, we were at 1517. So June does have a high number. But if you look in May and in April of last year, it was 974, 1297, now 1517. Here we've been almost around the same number for the past 3 months, 1373, 1412, and 1447. So we were seeing a lot of sellers start putting their properties on the market in the summer-ish months, like spring market, summer market ends up being pretty busy. But if you look back, July, we only had 1357, then August, 1202. Like it starts to dip right after June. So we'll see what happens in July here. And if you look at the sold properties, we're literally not getting many. All right. Looking year over year when it comes to the style of properties, detached, semi-detached, townhouses, condos, and condo townhouses. So 1,181,356 was our average detached home price. Back in 2023, it was 1.3. 2022 was 1.245, which means it actually went up still in 2023, even with the interest rate change. With semi-detaches, we're back to 912. We were at 1,019,019 last year, 985 in 2022, and we were in the 800s back in 2021. Freehold townhouses, again, that has come down from last year, 869, 940, 898, 827. So we're in the middle of 2021 and 2022. Condo towns come down as well. We're back at like 2021 with 693. And then condo prices have actually come down all the way to 2021, 2022 prices as well. We're hitting 532,000. I'm going to break down each section for the last 12 months so you can see those prices as well. We're going to go into detached houses. We are at $1,181,000. So it actually went up by $10,000 since May. And it actually came down from April. So we've kind of seen an up and down fluctuation in detaches, like 1.15, 1.2, 1.2, 1.2, 1.17, 1.18. So it is going up and down when it comes to the detached prices for homes in Brampton. When you're looking at semi-detaches, we're at 912. We were at 928, 956, 959, 950. So we're still at a lower price point, maybe January prices, which is not bad at all when it comes to semi-detaches. Condo townhouses, 869, 875, 903, 903, 881. So you're seeing that we're back at January prices as well. When it comes to condo towns, you're seeing that we're literally $2,000 less than we were in May. And we are back at like February prices. And condos have we took a big jump from April to May, and June has still kind of stayed in that same number. Now let's go over what is selling over asking price. We are still at 31%. So when I took all 489 properties, there was 31% of those properties selling over asking price, and the rest of them are still either selling under asking or at the list price. A lot of them were selling under asking price. So we are not in a market where properties are going over asking price unless they have really listed it super low and it is presented to the best of its ability. If you are a seller in today's market, you need to present your property to the best of its ability. That's like a new coat of paint, staging, presenting it with amazing photo, video, everything you can do to present your property to the best of its ability. And this is if you have to sell. If you do not have to sell, just wait. Our inflation numbers came back for May and it was a 0.2% higher than what it was in April. We're going to get another inflation number come in for June before July's interest rate announcement. This is super important because it is going to help us understand what is going to happen to the interest rate in July. And as a seller or a buyer, this is information you need to know. So please go ahead and follow along because I'm going to be going over all of this information in the videos that I make. I really hope this video gave you all the information you need to know about what is going on right here in the Brampton real estate market. These stats and these numbers are so important if you are a buyer or a seller. And if you are a buyer, maybe you should start looking to move in the direction of trying to purchase because there are so many sellers on the market and not a lot of buyers. So if you can jump in, grab something, maybe a lot of these sellers will let go of their properties for a bit of a discount. And if you can jump in and get that discount and then lock in before the interest rate starts to go down, you may be in the best position you want to be in. If you have any questions, reach out to me at any time. Contact information is right there in the description. My husband is a mortgage agent as well. We are both here to help you as best as we can. So if you like this information, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and like this video, and we'll see you guys all next week.